What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Season 8 of my NHL 24 Washington Capitals Franchise Mode Series. As always, guys, thank you so much for supporting these videos. If you wouldn't mind leaving a thumbs up, I really appreciate it. We're currently 4-2 in the preseason. Boychuk there's got 8 points in 6 games. I will say this year is basically cup or bust for us because we're about to get smacked by the salary cap after this year. So hopefully, we can win our first cup. Last year, the New York Rangers won the Stanley Cup, and although we were in the first round, I feel like we were super close, and now even more so, like, the team's absolutely stacked. They need to get it done this year. I'm hoping to, the being season number 8, Alex Ovechkin will, provide us some luck in this episode. So I'll show you guys what the team is looking like right now. Again, there's no reason why they can't be competing for a Stanley Cup. I mean, look at that first line. Brady Tkachuk, Gavin McKenna, Matthew Tkachuk. Are you kidding me? Second line there, you got Boychuk, Hagens, Miroshnichenko. That's a very good second line, especially with the +5. Third line, you got Crystal, McCamey, and Catton. Fourth line there, you got Leonard and Grieva twins. Again, I think you got tons of stars in that forward group as well as a ton of depth. Defensively here, Hughes and Sider on the top pair is nuts. Howden, DuPont, second pairing is solid. Like, they're both just going to get better. DuPont's high elite. Howden is medium elite, both young still. Perez and Kuznetsov, I think it's a very formidable bottom pair. In terms of the goaltending, you got Guy in there who's 85 now with the butterfly X factor. Ball backing him up, 84 high starter. I look at power play 1. I mean, again, absolutely stacked. Even power play 2 there, I think, is very, very deadly. So, like, throughout this team, really no holes. I don't know if, like, what we'll add the deadline. We do have a bit of cap space. We definitely could. I like to. I got the Grieva twins together on the PK. Want to try to have them together as much as possible, just for some fun. But again, guys, like, this team looks pretty sick. You look at the AHL team as well. I got an 81 Joseph first line. You got an 81 Schaefer second line. A bunch of 80s throughout it. Most of them are like, 79 or higher. Defensively there, pretty much all high 70s. Goaltending, you got an 80 Solid starting. 67 Gruel backing up with a high elite potential. So again, tons to look forward to with this team. Now, if you guys missed the last episode, we had to trade away Tom Wilson just because he was down to 81, making $6.5 million. So Gavin McKenna is now in the C for this team. And I got Brady Tkachuk and Quinn Hughes there, both ranked A's. And before we get started with the sim, guys, I'll show the ratings for this season. We've got 100 offense, 97 defense, 89, and 88 goaltending. Like I was saying, it's cup or bust, so we'll see what happens. And actually, guys, like I've been mentioning, it's cup or bust due to the fact that we have no cap space next year to sign all of our pending free agents. For instance, Miroshnichenko currently making $6.5. He wants $10 million. We've got just under $10 million total. Also have to re-sign Boychuk. Luckily, he's giving me an RFA, so I'll probably have to trade him away because, yeah, he's asking for 12.5. Just crazy. Even on a 1 year, it's 9. Luckily, like, DuPont here is going to keep getting better. He wants 9.2 for 6. Only need him for 2. He's down to 7.6. 1 year, 6.4. I mean, maybe we try and do the 1 year at like 5.75, something like that. I know everyone always talks about like the 85% rule. I like to try and not, literally put it into a calculator just to make it a bit more fair. We'll try even 5.6 for 1 year. McCamey here, I think, also wanted a little bit less. Yeah, 1 year, 4.5. 2 years, also 4.5. And we can get him at 2 years for $4.86, who's going to get better. I think that's a very good contract. Like I said, Boychuk, we probably have to trade. Miroshnichenko, if we're not in the playoffs, we'll definitely trade for a haul at the deadline. If we are, we'll just keep him and lose him for nothing if we have to. But obviously trying to make that, Stanley Cup push, it's worth it. Even Perez here, only 81, wants 2.6. We simply just cannot afford that. Ball here, though, backup, he wants 8.25. So yeah, we'll definitely 2 years there, get him under contract. I think that's an absolute steal for him. And there we go, guys. DuPont actually accepted the 1 year deal. I thought that might be too cheap. I'm kind of surprised he said yes. We'll wait here back still from McCamey as well as Ball. And there we go. Ball said yes. Basically, league min for 2 years. That's an 84 is crazy. McCamey too. So we did get a few good deals there. Look at that. Hayden had a hat trick game 1 against the Devils. I'm just kind of curious now to see how much extension dollars we have left because the math doesn't always quite work out because the game kind of has its own calculations of it. Let's see. We've got $2 million. So yeah, not going to get a Miroshnichenko or Boychuk. Luckily, got a lot of young players that can take their spaces. Definitely holding on to them for now, and hopefully, like I said, we can make a run at the Cup this year. All right, guys, so it's now the end of December. As you can see there, we're crushing it. 22, 10, and 4. Stars, though, have 50 points there. We've got 48, so I mean, we're pretty close to, like, being first in the league. AHL team, 25 and 4. They're also having a great start to this year. Owen Beck there's leading score over a point per game. In the NHL, it's Hagens, 45 and 36. So hopefully both these teams can keep it going towards the deadline. All right, guys, so the trade deadline now with the record of 34, 22, and 5. Definitely slowed down a bit. Currently got 73 points on the year. We're in a wild card spot because top of the Metro there is honestly pretty stacked. AHL team, 35, 12, and 4. They're still first in their division, which is good to see. And Beck there's just popping off. 65 and 51's awesome. NHL team, Hagens, just over a point per game. So, I mean, we slowed down a bit. Definitely willing to add if we can find it. We are full on buyer this year, as I mentioned. We are going cup or bust. So, we'll see what's out there. See if we can, put our cap space to good use. Are you kidding me? PD's on the block, 93 overall. I don't know if we could pull that one off, but if we could, it'd be crazy. Kent Johnson as well as a 91. Matty Beniers there, the two Michigan boys. You got Nathaniel Barry on the Devils, 90 overall, unsigned. Vinny, 90 overall goalie. Tiers up to 5.8. We got two good goalies, though. Cost Control, Jared McCann, Hoglander, McKinnon. What's McKinnon? He's down at 89. The trade value there is actually really low. We'd have to get them retained 50%. Even then, it'd be a tough trade to make happen. Atu Ratu, Patrick Laine, 1 year left. He's actually with the Blues. I think Nathan McKinnon would be pretty cool. I actually don't get McKinnon very often at all in a franchise. And I think, too, like, looking at the trade value, it makes a lot more sense to try to add him than it would for PD there. So we'll see what the cost is for McKinnon. Obviously, it has to be 50%. Even then, I'm not sure if we'd have to, like, send somebody over. Avs there, 25 and 34, so they should be willing to do this. All right, guys, so here's the offer making the Avalanche for Nathan McKinnon. First round pick this year, plus Rogalski, the medium starter goalie. Value looks to be pretty close. I feel like this would be an absolute steal for McKinnon. At this point, because we're not trading away any of our forwards, honestly, Crystal probably gets scratched because I think, the fourth line is better defensively. Unfortunately, he'll just have to sit out the rest of the year, but he'll have a chance to shine in the last 2 seasons. We'll see what the Avs say to this. Trades rejected. Okay, yeah, it does look the values a bit more on their side. Obviously, trying to get McKinnon for as cheap as possible here. Oh my gosh, Von Fersen, if you guys remember, I drafted him as a 70 less than a year ago. He's now a 78 in juniors. He's got a point per game as an enforcer D-man. What a stud. He might be in NHL next year, just because he's like too cool of a player not to have. Honestly, Joseph, I'm trying to think. Hoffman, 22.75, 95 passing. He's had pretty good growth. Ernie here, 22.71. Could probably trade him. Maybe Kress as well, 18.55. We'll try Ernie first. And if this doesn't get to go through, I'll also add the other low elite there in Kress. There we go, though. Okay, one low elite player, first medium starter goalie. Nathan McKinnon on the team. It shows us over the salary cap max. I don't know. Hopefully we're not. It shows McKinnon there in the NHL. I'm basically just making sure we didn't lose anyone to the AHL, which it doesn't look like we did, so I think we're okay. All right, guys, so the trade deadline is now over. We just made that one big trade for McKinnon, but obviously it was a pretty big trade. Like, we were already stacked, bringing in McKinnon. No reason why we can't go on a run here. Looking through, nothing too crazy. Nicholas Waugh, the Bruins, are, of course, our trade there for Nathan McKinnon. Let's see. Joel Eriksson Ek to the Buffalo Sabres. Really nothing crazy. Noah Case to the Stars. Steele to Golden Knights. You got Christian Dvorak going back to the Coyotes. Thomas Novak to the Ducks. Kirby Dach there to the Devils. Riker Evans to the Blues. Novak actually got acquired by the Ducks before getting flipped to the Ducks, so just kind of classic there. Kapanen in the Golden Knights. Zetterlund to the Sharks, so he's returning to the Sharks. Interesting. Morrissey to the Wild. That's actually a big-time trade. For Ferentz and a couple other players, okay. Romanov there to the Sharks, and Brandstrom to the Canucks. So really nothing too crazy. And look at this, guys. Terry Vine's on waivers. I'm assuming he's probably not that great anymore. Yeah, he's down to a 79, still making $3.5 million. Definitely that's a pass. All right, guys, so after the trade deadline, here's an updated look at the team. First line hasn't changed. Second line is now Miroshnichenko, Hagens, and McKinnon. Third is Boychuk, McCamey, and Catton. Like, are you kidding me? 8 of our top 9 forwards are 88 plus, and then McCamey there, the only one who's not, is an 86 with elite potential. Like, this is probably like the most stacked first 3 forward lines I've ever had in franchise. Even the fourth line there, they're all 83, and they're all solid defensively. Physically, could be a bit better, but, beggars can't be choosers. Defensively, too, no change. I think the defensive group looks good. DuPont's actually an 87 now. Howden hasn't grown yet, but I think he will. Defensive defensemen usually are a bit tougher to get growing. In terms of the power play, McKinnon's on the first, but he is on the second. He should be able to help it out. He's also on the second 4-man power play. So I think just overall, I don't know how bringing McKinnon in can make this team worse. AHL-wise hasn't changed. So they should still continue to crush it. Hopefully, McKinnon, is the guy that kind of pushes us over the hump, the cherry on top for this team. Let's see how they do. Also, too, guys, as you can see there, Nathan McKinnon's actually our leading scorer after trading for him, so we'll see if we can keep it up here with our team. All right, guys, we're now at the end of the regular season here with a record of 51, 26, and 5. We played amazing after the deadline. Oilers there have 114 points, and we had 107, so second best team in the NHL. We actually won 13 straight games after picking up Nathan McKinnon at the deadline, which is incredible. If you guys look here, we didn't lose. Actually, wait a minute. The month of March here starts on the 1st. We beat Tampa 6-5 in a shootout. Okay, so we didn't lose in the month of March until the very last day. 2-1 loss to the Blackhawks. So we actually had there's 13 there, 14, 15, 16 game win streak in the month of March. Like, that is incredible. Obviously, it would have been nice to win the President's Trophy, but I feel like, the team's pretty hot here. AHL-wise, 51, 13, and 4, 106 points. Looks like they're winning the AHL for the 3rd straight time. Obviously, they're coming off a Calder Cup win. It would be pretty cool if they can actually win back-to-back Calders. Owen Beck, 85 and 68. He absolutely tore it up. NHL-wise, Brady Tkachuk there, 88 points, 82 games. Good to see him having, over a point per game. I don't know how no one on this team, though, is putting up 100. Hayden's there is also over a point per game. Same with McKinnon, McKenna, Kachuk. I mean, 5 guys to have over a point per game is pretty incredible. Let's see how McKinnon did with us. 13 and 21, second line. So he actually did way better with Colorado. I don't know. I mean, luckily he is just a rental. Can definitely not afford to bring him back. Hughes at 72. Miroshnichenko 62. Boychuk 52. Hopefully that brings his price down, only putting up 50. Sider, a little under 50 points. Catton 44 for a third liner and a PK guy is pretty solid. McCamey 41, also more defensive. DuPont 40. I mean, you'd like to see more. Leonard 32, fourth line. I feel like, the rest of this production is pretty good. I mean, Crystal there, 27 and 61. Once he's back on the team next season, should be fine. So Guyan here, 43 wins, 2 shutouts at 895, 327. Not ideal to see him drop below 900. Maybe next season we'll actually run Ball there as the starter. In terms of the AHL team, Solin there, 915 with 6 shutouts, 218 goals against. Geez, yeah, absolutely carried that team from the back end. Beck there, followed by Andronov. Joseph, 70s, also over a point per game. Casey was right on. Schaefer, 64, solid. Line at 60, 79 there. Solid shot. We'll see kind of how he develops. Even like Santa Plica here at 50 points. 1 year left to grow. Could become an 80. And now look at the entire league here, guys. Nikita Chabrikov, of all players, leads the league in scoring, 111 points. He's an 89 overall there. Put up 53 goals and 58 assists with the Vegas Golden Knights. Was drafted by Winnipeg. I just Googled it because I wanted to know what he was about. As you can see there, he was drafted second round 2021. Was in the KHL till this season. He's over a point per game right now with Manitoba Moose, but seeing him win Art Ross is kind of crazy. He actually tied with Jack Eichel, but he had more goals, so I think he'll get it. Matthews there and Marner, both 109. Pasternak, 106. Fantilli at 104-point season. Nylander 2. Hughes at 102. Suzuki 100. Same with Fabian Lysell at 100 points. Jeez, so dude just popped off there. Bratt 99 was close. Same with Cooley. Kind of crazy to see the production. Again, I wish our team had some guys in the 100-point mark, but if we win a Stanley Cup, it doesn't really matter. Pasternak there put up 62 goals. Defensive scoring, Fox is first, 76. Hughes only 4 points behind him. If he had a crazy plus-minus again this year, he would definitely be winning back-to-back Norrises. Unfortunately, only a plus 12. Most wins goes to Guyan. Unfortunately, I don't think he'll win the Vezina with the save percentage he had. I think Gustafson there with a 922. I'm guessing he had the lowest goals against as well. Yeah, he did. So he'll probably take that trophy home. We're looking at the points here for rookies. Sylvan Levasseur, I don't know how to say his name, but 82 2A forward, only had 45 points. Just a pretty weak rookie class, to be honest. And looking at the entire league here, guys, the Oilers won the President's Trophy, 114 points. We finished second, though, with 107. So, again, bringing in McKinnon the deadline was definitely the right move. Calgary squeaks in there, 19. Last place, NHL, the Carolina Hurricanes. Goals for, we were first, 308. Okay, hopefully you can keep that up in the playoffs. Goals against, we weren't one of the best teams, nor were we one of the worst teams. So hopefully the defense can kind of clamp it down here, tighten up. Guyan can play a little bit better, and then obviously the offense just kind of keep producing. First round here, of course, we'll have wildcard 2, which is the Toronto Maple Leafs. All right, so not making it easy on us. Round 1 here, the playoffs, because they still have both Matthews and Marner on that team. Maybe they've lost some depth, though. Nylander as well. I mean, that first line's incredible. Not as good as our first line, though, to be fair. Gunler, Robertson, Zadina. I mean, an 82 and 84 on their second line. That's literally worse than our third line. I mean, actually, their third line is almost better than their second. Fourth line there. Matthew Nyes never grew for some reason, still an 81. Defensively, pretty weak. I mean, yeah, our defense definitely beats out theirs. Goaltending, pretty even. Shesterkin down to 84 at 35 is honestly crazy. He must have had one bad year. We dropped in rating. And then maybe he, became a backup after that. Or just, I don't know, had another bad season, then got the backup. I've never honestly seen him drop that much in rating that fast. So, interesting result for sure. But we'll get started here, guys, with the Leafs. Round 1. We got the home ice advantage here. First 2 games are in Washington. 7-6 loss and a 7-5 loss. We're scoring, but so are the Leafs. If this team's out in round 1, I mean, we're going to blow it up anyways because we have so many contracts expiring, but I'm going to get frustrated. Game 3 in Toronto, 2-1 win. A low-scoring game there. Game 4, 2-1 win. All right, so coming home, we got some momentum. Can we keep it going? 6-3 win. Let's go. All right. Game 6 now back in Toronto, 3-2 OT loss. All right, at least it was a close L. Comes down to Game 7 at home. Boys got to find a way here. Let's go. Nathan McKinnon, step up. 2-1 lead. McKenna and Leonard, actually. Matthews for them. Still 2-1. We'll resume simulation here. Period 3. Shots are pretty identical. Zadina ties it literally as I say that. Also, the Leafs have a bit of a shot lead now. Heading towards the halfway point here of the third. All tied up still. Power play. We've got a sick power play. Fortunately, Leafs are able to kill it. 5 minutes to go. Come on. Nothing's happening. 1.5 minutes left. Going to OT. Let's see what happens. I'm just going to sim the whole period here, guys. Oh. Are you kidding me? Noel Gunler. Come on. The 82 on the second line. And we lose to the Leafs in round 1 of the playoffs with this incredibly stacked team. Probably the most stacked team I've had so far in franchise mode in NHL 24. That is ridiculous. Honestly, guys, I am so rattled after that loss to the Leafs. Like, I don't understand it. I feel like we built about as good as the teams you possibly can in the salary cap. I guess, I don't know. Wasn't meant to be. I thought, you know, Season 8, Alex Ovechkin can give us some luck. Didn't happen. Luckily, there are still 2 seasons left. AHL team here, currently 2-2 in round 1 with the Bridgeport Islanders. They also won the AHL, and they actually are able to advance there to round 2. Luckily, you know, they don't have an early exit. Lehigh Valley Phantoms here in the second round. And we actually sweep them, 3-0. So, AHL team looking to repeat. Next up here, they got the Syracuse Crunch. We'll just sim through this series. And unfortunately, they get swept in round 2. Oh my goodness, just no luck there. We'll take a look. Danny Nelson, over a point per game. Solin there had a 9.22 and a 2.06. And the team couldn't win one game from in round 4. That's crazy. NHL-wise, guy in there, 8.91 and a 3.43. That is just not good enough in the playoffs. He's got 86 points too, so that's not the issue. Looking at the players, are you kidding me? Hagens averaged almost 2 points a game in round 1 against the Leafs, and we still lost. That is crazy. Luckily, he's coming back. He was like putting a full effort in. McKenna is well over a point per game. Kachuk, McKinnon, Brady were also a point per game. I mean, Miroshchenko didn't have a goal. Luckily, you know, he's not going to be coming back. Leonard had 3 goals, no assists. Siders, 3 points. Wait, where's Quinn Hughes? Quinn Hughes, 3 points as well. Him and Sider needed to be better. Boychuk even probably could have done a bit better than that. So, I mean, I don't know. Catton had 2 points. It's tough to really put it on one guy. I feel like unlucky / the Leafs team, even though they're an 8 seed, probably, you know, was pretty good when you look at that first line especially. But upsetting nevertheless. Hopefully, you know, can find that cup in these next 2 years. Wow, wow, wow. Montreal wins their 3rd Stanley Cup in 4 seasons. They are a dynasty at this point. Also, too, Bakersfield won the Calder Cup, so at least the AHL team there lost the eventual champs. Montreal, they are just insane. Carolina picking 1st overall. I know a lot of times, too, people like to ask and see what the Stanley Cup winning team looks like, so I'll give you guys just a look at that team right now. I mean, we have a pretty good idea because we had matched up with them relatively recently, but I'm just wondering if any, you know, changes have happened. Caulfield, Suzuki, this Loom guy's a 90. Misar, Sikorsky. I mean, geez, they got 5 90-plus forwards. They got Wathers an 89. Lane Hudson's up to an 88. He's about to get paid, though. Kirby Doxel on the team. Farrell there, 85. Reinbacker. Take a look at the goalies. That just shows you why you don't need a good goalie. Ferraro, 83 starter. Had a 9.05 in the playoffs. 3.01 goals against. They still won the cup with him. Yeah, that's why I don't spend money on my goalies, because it just does not seem to matter. Even though in real life, you really need a goalie to get hot, I feel, to win the playoffs. This game does not matter at all. So, we'll keep simming here, guys, towards the draft. Of course, trade away our first round pick, but, I mean, no regrets. We had to go for it. McKinnon, I think, was, you know, too good of a price not to get. Stamkos calls it a career. Actually retires there as a Tampa Bay Lightning. I'm curious what's going to happen in real life, if they'll bring him back or not. Had over a point per game. Carlson finally hangs it up at 41 years old. What a career for him. He was down to a 79. He still had 68 points, though, his final year with Pittsburgh. That's pretty nuts. Schleifer there with the Islanders. JT Miller's with the Flames. Jeff Skinner, Nugent Hopkins, Tarasenko, Zibanejad, Hurdle. He actually retired with the Sharks as well. Morgan Riley just retired with the Leafs. What was he down to? A 77. And they still would have had to pay him $6.5 million for 1 more year. We definitely did Leaf Nation a favor there. Tara Vinen, we saw was on waivers. Chandler Stevenson. So a lot of big names. Jacob Slavin, of course. Darnell Nurse. I mean, geez, yeah, tons of guys retiring here. Goaltenders. Nelojevic, Peterson. Okay, goaltender's really nothing crazy. All right, guys, we're at the draft now. Curious to see if there's any, like, crazy prospects. Doesn't look like it. Again, just 5 medium leads, which is pretty crazy for, you know, medium in terms of the prospect draft class quality. We got 1 gem. It's 1st overall. All right, scouts. No help there. Guaranteed potential, though. This guy here, Eklund, Swedish goalie, could be medium elite. Is going to go quite late, so definitely we'll take a chance on him. After that, really no one. In terms of the medium leads, but that's okay. That last draft we had last season was honestly incredible. Especially, too, if there's a bunch of guys that could be medium elite there, like 2 bars. If we can get lucky on one of them, that'd be huge. This guy here could be low elite. We're going to go like 7th round. We'll take him as well. Look at this dude. Dan Sanders, probably a low top 6. Central Scouting has him ranked 800. I got to give him a pick just because that's so funny. And Tobias Bush here, medium top 4 guaranteed. Going to be like a mid-2nd round pick. I think we have our 2nd still. If we don't, It's fine. Probably not worth trading up for him. All right, guys. Next, trying to make a trade the Detroit Red Wings to get their second-round picks. We can get that medium top 4 defenseman. LaRoche is there for the roster spot, offering up Stein Wright, Miroshnichenko. Have to retain 50%, which is kind of a joke. Also a third-round pick there, Tampa Bay's pick. Pretty equal value. We'll see what they say. Trades accepted. Okay, so that works out well. Again, there's just no way we could have brought back Miroshnichenko at this point, too. Probably going to try and trade McKinnon signing rights just for like a 7th round pick. And look at this, guys. Hagens actually has medium franchise potential now, which is incredible. Obviously, he had a great playoff, averaging like 2 points a game. Regular season, he put up, over a point per game as well. So he's looking sick. I think, the top 6 is definitely still going to be awesome. And I mentioned, too, Crystal, having a bigger role next year. He actually went up in rating to 84, even though we scratched him last month and a half. So we got very lucky there. So next, you guys trying to trade McKinnon's rights to the San Jose Sharks for a 7th. We'll see what they say here. Values are pretty equal. They say yes. Okay, so again, just another guy not going to be able to bring back. And I think at this point, too, I can get all the guys that we have pinned. Now, Boychuk here, I mentioned, too, probably won't be able to afford. But honestly, I was looking at it. If we play hardball with him, wait till the fall, we'll have about, $4 million. Might be able to squeeze him in. Defensively, though, definitely, I look at the decor here. We're losing Perez. I mentioned that. Kuznetsov's also not coming back. And we actually have guys like Legacy. There's high top 4. Even, I think, Von Ferguson, the Enforcer D-Man. I'd love to give him a shot in the NHL. Vorobyev, too, if he grows. Could earn a spot as well, so we should be okay. And look at this too, guys. I was just looking around the league, and McMichael here is actually on the trade block with the Winnipeg Jets. He's still 88 overall, but he's got top 6 potential there. So I feel like that trade made with them getting Hagens back, we definitely won. And now the reason I was looking at the Jets, guys, is because they have Rachevsky here on the block, 89 overall, 30 years old, making $5 million for the next 3 years. That'd be the rest of this franchise. And 89 making $5 million is honestly such a good contract. Last year, he was over a point per game. He had 87 points, 35 goals, 52 assists. He's a sniper there. He's got a really good wrist shot, solid hands, 99 offensive awareness, solid physical too. I feel like looking at Boychuk here, I was going to wait till the end of the fall to hopefully get him on a 1-year, like $4.5 million deal. If instead we could get Rachevsky there, under term, $5 million for the next 3 seasons, it makes a lot of sense. It looks like the value's pretty equal. If they say no, we can definitely throw him on the defenseman that we're not going to bring back. Let's see what the Jets say to this first. Wow, trades accepted. We'll see you out on the ice. That's a hockey trade, 1-for-1. So at this point, like I said, too, we have those defensemen we're not bringing back. I'll just try and get, some future picks for them. So here, guys, I'm offering Perez and Kuznetsov to the Coyotes for a 2nd and a 4th. Perez here is RFA, but again, I'm going to be asking for 2.5. Not worth it. We got younger guys coming up. Kuznetsov is pending UFA, but still has a good amount of value because he is 25. Low elite. We knew he was just a 1-year deal, though. So if we get those picks back, pretty good return. And they say yes. All right, so I feel like we did, pretty good work here at the draft. Obviously, we still have to make our picks. Hopefully, we hit on all of them. And so our first pick here, guys, beginning of the 2nd round. Looking at the first, as I mentioned, I think, yeah, just pretty standard top 5. Actually, kind of worse than you expect, like 72, 72. Red Wings low get a 77. Usually, they're all like high 70s, the medium elites in the top 5. Pittsburgh Penguins, nice pick there at 14. I think they got a steal before as well, so their scouting department's doing pretty well. But as I mentioned, at this point, we're looking at Bush here, German, probably pronouncing it wrong, but guaranteed medium top 4. Actually, Walter's available too. NHL TA's 3 years, similar style Nicoletti. Tobias Bush, also 3 years. How are we going to decide here? He's got a D for skating, which isn't ideal. It's guaranteed as well. Walter there is all B's and C's, so I think I'm actually going to pull an audible. We'll go with Walter here instead. And he's a 63 medium top 4, not terrible. And look at that, guys. Bush is actually a 66. I was curious, of course. Now, his skating is pretty bad, so, we'll see who ends up being the better pick. St. Louis actually got a 62 low elite right after us, but, Walter here, a bit better of a skater. You can see, too, he's an offensive defenseman, so probably never make our team either way, but hopefully he just has a bit more growth. Can trade him for more. Next year, guys, we're picking number 111. This is in the 4th round. At this point, honestly, just going to go off our pins. We're probably going to reach a little bit, but that's okay. Eklund here could be medium elite goalie from Sweden, and he is medium elite, only 47 overall, but still, definitely we will take that. Next year, we're in the 5th round, end of the 5th as well. We're going to be taking Nielsen, who's hopefully low elite from Niagara. And he is a low elite, 54 overall, but, end of the 5th round, very good value. And then finally here, guys, we have a 7th round pick. We're going to take that guy, rank like 800. I think he's supposed to be a low top 6. Come on. And he's a low bottom 6. I should have known by the rank, but I figured it'd be fun if he turned out to be a player. So, overall, I feel like that was a solid draft. Not too many picks, but I think we made some really nice trades. And look at this, guys. Rachevsky, who we just got from the Jets, was actually over a point per game in the playoffs, 28 and 21. And that reminds me, I totally forgot to look at the playoff tree as well as the awards this season. I think I was just focused on, like, our player stats. So, apologies for that. Montreal, look at that. They actually beat the Jets Stanley Cup final. They swept them after beating the Sens in 6, Bruins in 7, and the Rangers there in 6. So, hopefully, Rachevsky's got some playoff experience, and it can rub off on the rest of the team. Now, awards here, team awards, we know those. Individually, we know Chibukov on the Vegas Golden Knights got the Art Ross. Martindale got the Hart. Adam Fox there, James Norris, his 2nd in 5 years. Pasternak got the Lady Byng. Levasseur got the Calder, Lum there, Conn Smythe. Some creative guys doing well. Gustin there got the Vezina Trophy as we predicted. Also got the William Jennings. Peak there, Bill Masterton. St. Louis coach Jack Adams, Fantilli, Selke, Marner, Ted Lindsay, and Pastrnak, of course, got the Maurice Richard. And next year, guys, look at the AHL awards. I just want to see, third straight year we won the Eastern Conference. And again, only the one Calder Cup to show for it. Individually here, Owen Beck actually had the most points in the AHL, so that's pretty cool. Also got MVP, Safronov most goals, and best rookie. I think this is the guy Montreal just drafted second overall, so they've won 3 cups in 4 years, and they have the best rookie in the AHL. Like, are you kidding me? Casey, though, best defenseman 3 straight years. It sucks he's, like, stalled out at a 79. I really wish the game would kind of incorporate, you know, domination after you're 27, but I think he's just kind of maxed out his rating. Hill there, best goalie. Simoneau, MVP of the playoffs. Andronov, sportsmanship, will take that. Chartrank, community involvement, and then Solon there, lowest goals against. But now getting to the re-sign phase here, guys, as you can see, we have under $1 million in cap space. We are completely capped out, which is why I traded away Miroshichenko, McKinnon, the 2 defensemen there. I think, you know, was the right move, though, bringing in Rachevsky. As you can see, like, everyone's pretty much under contract. I feel like it just got to be AHL players. The Rock, we just got back in some trade. Beck, as long as he's asking for, yeah, $825K, come back, tear up the AHL again. Sidu here will just qualify. He could be like a 4th liner in the NHL. As I mentioned, 2 guys, Von Ferguson, I think, can make the NHL team, so I'm going to give him a contract. He wants $1 million. We can literally only offer $825K, so we'll see how that works out. Now looking at goaltenders here, Guyan actually dropped in ratings, so he's tied with Ball. Did he lose his X Factor too? He didn't, alright. So, I don't know, like, Ball could potentially pass him next year with a starter. And honestly, at that point, maybe we trade away Guyan's contract just because 1.8 doesn't seem like a lot. But when you have your starter making league min, you could call up Solon to be the backup at also, you know, under $1 million. That might be the way to go. We'll kind of see, I guess, how the summer progresses. But as I mentioned, yeah, all the contracts are done. We are just up against the cap, hoping the team we have can break through and win us a cup. Now, Von Ferguson actually rejected the deal, guys. So what I'm thinking is we'll probably have to just wait till the end of the summer to sign him. Once we can move more guys around between the NHL, AHL. All right, guys, for another free agency period here. As I mentioned, we have no money, but might as well take a look and see. Leo Carlson, 93 overall. Now, high franchise potential. Is he a UFA? Oh, no. RFA. The Ducks cannot lose this guy. We'll sort by rating. Draisaitl available as well. 94 overall. Very curious to see what happens here with the Oilers. They're in a bit of turmoil. A lot of people thinking if they don't turn it around, Draisaitl and potentially McDavid could be leaving at the end of their contracts. PD's available too, 93. That is a crazy free agency class. Again, we are capped out. Even got a ton of 89s there. Will Smith, Barkov. Edler here, high elite RFA. What are these teams doing? I mean, usually do get him signed. Ottawa there. Looks to be a pretty decent player. Former 3rd overall pick. Kyrou. Take a look at goalies. Again, could use an AHL starter, honestly. Bottinger, 89. Sure, he's an RFA. Yeah, same with Andronov. But still some high-rated dudes. Take a look here at 2-way goalies. Sort by potential, just in case. Ekman here, 2580. Medium starter. 4th round pick by the Rangers, 2025. They don't want him. 68 poise. He looks like he could be a good AHL starter. Exactly what we're looking for. He's got a couple years left to grow. We got a couple years left. I'll give him an offer. I am actually thinking we're probably going to trade away Guyan just because he did not play well enough this season, especially in the playoffs. Like, we got a ton of wins, but his stats really weren't there. I think, you know, we have, you know, the guys behind him that will be fine. The goalie department, starting Ball, and Solon there being our backup. So we'll go and see what we can get from, especially 1.8 million in cap space. Gives us a bit more flexibility. He's got the X factor, so he has some value. Definitely like to trade him to the West. So I was looking around, guys, and I really like this Maloney prospect on the Wild. 2174, medium league potential. He's a grinder. I think he could potentially make our 4th line by the final year. Vishnevsky here, if you guys forget, we actually traded to them, so kind of funny to see. He's only a 67 at 22, so I definitely like that trade for us. But Maloney, we're offering Guyan, plus the 2nd we got from Arizona for guys we aren't going to bring back anyways. Looks to be pretty equal value. We'll see what the Wild say. Trades rejected. Quite far off. Maybe we could add Nelson to this trade. He did pop off for us in the playoffs, but honestly in the AHL, he's pretty replaceable. They like Reed Schaefer. He's 27 now. Maybe throw him to this trade as well. I doubt that's enough, but you never know. Yeah, trade's still rejected. Let's see if we can get away with also adding a 4th round pick. We'll do ours, bet on ourselves. And there we go. Okay, so medium league grinder. They get a, you know, cheap starting goalie, some picks, some players. I like that deal a lot for us, though. Again, we have some cap flexibility. We can sign that rookie enforcer defenseman at this point as well. We're going to offer him just under $1 million their entry-level deal. He said yes, so good to see him under contract. The rest of those guys, they'll probably just wait on with the qualifying offers. We got our AHL starter goalie. We could look, too, to see if there's any just decent AHL players. We have, you know, decent amount of contract spots there. Wahlberg here, 2579. That's pretty good. Power forward. Have a lot of power forwards, but, I mean, can't have too many in the AHL. We'll give him a 2-way deal. Yuri Kulich, 2782, wants league min. I mean, could replace Reed Schaefer. I feel like just try and get the AHL team another Calder Cup. Henry Muse, 2578. Why Muse did not grow at all. That's crazy to me. We'll do 2 years and see what happens with him. Look at this, guys. Easton Cowan's available, 26, 79. Leafs fans don't want to see this. Powerful shot, pretty good hands, 92 passing. I don't know, not the greatest physical. Just didn't really seem to develop the best. Honestly, I feel like we have enough AHL players. Probably don't even need to sign him. I think the guys who made offers on are good. Fraser Minton, though. Honestly, even though he's an 80, probably don't need him either. Like, we just have so many good AHL players. And we're going to end up having way too many if I keep signing guys. And the Jets here offering us a 3rd and a 4th for Sidhu and a Solin. Definitely saying no. Solin's going to be the NHL backup. Sidhu could be a 4th line in the NHL. Not really worth those picks. Got some new scouts signed. They're just like, you know, B's overall opposed to C's. I still have a few left that are C. I think I even got one A scout, which was nice. Coolitz there said yes. Muse, Wahlberg, Ekman. All right, so we're looking pretty good. Ekman again. AHL starter for us. Now, just looking at free agent defensemen, guys. If you go down here, you'll see Dante Fabro's available. Under $1 million for 81 overall D-man. It's a really good deal. 87 D awareness, 86 shot block and stick check, 33, so he shouldn't drop in rating during the summer. I'm thinking he's like a good backup plan. If none of our gun guys grow, we can have him play in the NHL next year. If they do, we can just bury his whole contract in the AHL. So really, you know, no risk. But again, just kind of gives us a nice option there. Worst case scenario happens. And there we go. Fabro said yes, so we should be good, honestly, for next year at this point. And we got another big summer blockbuster here, guys. Gabe Vilardi in a 3rd going to Boston. Bowen Byram and Jordan Spence going back to Seattle. I feel like Seattle won that one. And now Dallas here, guys, offering us Adam Jarechek in a 3rd for Sidhu there in a 5th. I mean, if Jarechek's decent, again, just, you know, have some defensive options. Our forward depth's insane. Defense, not so much. He's an 82. Two-way defender, 89 D awareness. Okay, I mean, the thing is, I guess, how much is he asking for? And I just checked, guys. Jarechek's wanting $3.7 million, so yeah, we couldn't do that trade. We just don't have the cap space. And now the Islanders are offering us Aaron Ekblad in a 6th for a 2nd and Andronov. Andronov's a good AHL player. I don't see him breaking into our, you know, top 9. What's Ekblad rated at this point? 81, 90 D awareness, but shot block, stick checker low, physical's low. Oh, man. He's got a really good shot still, too. Very strange player to trade for. He was a minus 53 last year. Okay, I like Ekblad. He's from Windsor, but minus 53. I can't trade for that guy. And so we're in the fall now, guys. I'm just trying to trade away some extra players who aren't going to get any ice time in the AHL. Cam Allen, we've had this entire time. Unfortunately, never really grew. 26 years old. It's only a 77. Dragosevic, we don't really need. We signed him a couple years ago. Callum Ritchie, same thing. Fane here, 22, 67, low top 6 grinders. Pretty average. So we get a 4th and a 5th from the Blackhawks. It's a good return. They say yes, so definitely helps us out. Again, we weren't going to use those guys. You look at our draft picks for the final draft. We actually have more than, you know, the usual, which hasn't been the case for us the past few years, so we're set up pretty nice now. And now, guys, I'll show what the team is looking like for next year. Even though we kind of got screwed by the cap, I feel like the team's actually turned out to be just as good as it was last season, which is kind of incredible, honestly. So, first line, we now have McKenna on the wing, with Hayden's there in the middle, Matthew Tkachuk on the right wing. I've actually decided to split up the Tkachuk brothers. Hopefully, it works out in our favor. Rachesky there on the second line with McCamey and Brady Tkachuk. Entire top 6 there gets a +5. Third line's Crystal, Catton, and Leonard, which I think looks good. And then the 4th here is Joseph and the 2 Greba twins. You look at Joseph here, now an 83. He's got 96 defensive awareness. Physical, I feel like, should be higher for a power forward, but I mean, it's all right. He's got, you know, okay skating, really good puck skills, 95 offensive awareness. He should do more than fine on a 4th line role. Defensively here, Hughes Sider still our top pair. We got Howden and Dupont on the second pair, which is pretty nasty, 89, 85. And then somehow this bottom pairing I was all excited for has a -3 chem. Legacy here was the high top 4 defensive defenseman, 91 D awareness. Von First is down 80. He's got 99 strength. Defensive stats are solid. He somehow got 90 Deakin as an enforcer. I don't know how they get -3. Like, both these guys should have been on the bottom D pair well, so I don't know if I'm just going to say screw it and try it, or, you know, make a trade, make a call-up, switch things up. But for now, I'm just going to leave it. Balder's our starter for this season. Solid backing him up. AHL-wise, you got Ekman and Gruel. You look at the forwards here, being pretty stacked. Hoffman has 99 passing now. We drafted him 2nd round in 2028, so him feeding the puck to Andronov, who's got an insane shot. Back in the middle, had most points in the league last year. Should be a sick first line. Even the second there, Lions an 81, Kulich an 82, Sidhu in the middle is an 80. We've got an 83rd line center, Boudreau. I mean, the AHL forwards look good. Defensively, Dvorak Casey's a top pair again. They get a +2. Had to bring in a new AHL head coach because our former guy was like an NHL head coach role at this point, so could not afford to keep him. Even Santa Plica there's an 80. Sam Fabro, of course, buried. Vorobiev, Muse. I mean, overall, I think both teams look pretty good, so should be good here for Season 9. I'll show you guys our ratings to end the episode. Again, we definitely got screwed, I think, in the playoffs this year. Hopefully next year a bit more lucky. As you guys can see here, we got 100 offense still with 98 defense. I think that's actually gone up, and 86 goaltending. So, again, we're running it back with a pretty solid team. We'll see what happens next episode. If you enjoyed this one, though, guys, leave that thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the sub button down below. Thanks so much for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.